It's so awkward that we don't have like theme music yet.
I think we'll get some soon.
Yeah.
You know what kind of vibe you want to go for?
I like that Gorillaz, like that little. You know, it's like jazzy, but it's got a little beat to it. But it's like.
Gorillaz isn't really jazzy.
They have a jazzy.
It's more rock than anything. It's like an indie
doesn't
rock.
rock come from jazz?
I don't know the origins. I know that rock comes from black people. So does jazz.
So I just.
That's all I know.
I want to sound smart and black, I guess. I don't know what that means, but.
Well.
Jazzy.
I'll try to see if I can find.
That's what I think about jazz. Smart and black jazz. Like, I don't know why.
Smart and black. I think of cool and black. Cool.
Okay.
And it's interesting to think that at a point in time, like, jazz was, like, controversial. Like, oh, they're into jazz. I know. Like, that was the whole thing.
Because it makes you shake your hips and tap your feet. Probably because it makes you be expressive. It makes you emote. You can't just waltz, like, and you... Nobody knows how you feel when you do a waltz, really, I think. But when someone plays a jazz beat and then fingers start snapping and the toes start tapping and the hips start gyrating and shoulders start shaking, I think it's like, whoa.
Right. Well, let's see if we can get a jazzy indie rock intro.
Whatever, yeah. We gonna rap?
You can handle the rap.
You gonna sing?
No.
Background?
I can do ad-libs. I don't know how you do ad-libs on a jazzy track. But I do ad-libs.
You have to scat.
I can't do that. You can do it. Maybe I'll say the title. Mad commentary.
That's actually kind of funny and cute.
We could do that. We actually could do that ourselves. But so how are you feeling today? What is your vibe?
My vibe is I have period brain. I feel good and I feel productive. And when I'm coming to terms with, like, it don't stop every day. You know, you got to do something that feeds your soul. And I think when you grow up low-key depressed and stuff and you start healing all that stuff and you feel some of the, like, feelings you have of, like, progressive activeness. I don't know if that's the word.
Activity?
Activity, but when you're being active, but then it's like you're active, but you it's progressive, meaning it has purpose. It's like, I'm being active because this is a part of mental health. I'm being active.
So proactive.
Proactive, yeah. Where everything you're doing it because it's like saving.
Those are two words together. Well, actually, sorry. I was thinking with the word, like,
you got real smart. You got real smart.
Productivity and active together.
I wonder if that's how that goes.
No, I think it's the pro part.
It's just the pro.
Yeah. That's like a
the pro
prefix.
I don't know what pro means, but I know it has to do with, like, mastering something, like professional. We assume that person is at the top, or they're at least efficient in the skill set.
I don't know.
I'm going to definitely find out.
The prefix actual, like, definition. Sorry,
I think pro is like for, like, I'm pro. It's like a for thing. It's affirmative.
It's a positive thing.
It's a positive thing, at least in the least. But how am I feeling today? I just feel very capable. But yet I'm on my period, and when I'm on my period, which happened last night, so I was so ready to go to bed, but then I couldn't go to bed because I was on alert.
And, I heard you last night. I didn't know what was going on.
You just heard me moving around the house?
It was like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I heard the TV on. I was like, I'm trying to sleep.
I tried to, like, zone out. I listened to some more Delbert Blair lectures.
It was very loud.
It was?
Yes. It woke me up.
So I slept until about 8:30 and then got up, started being productive. But then I like the fact that I've tailored my life to the point where I can be productive from bed. I'd be about that.
Yeah.
So how do I feel? I feel productive. I feel good. I feel period-ish, which means I don't really want to do much that requires any real effort. Things have to be easy right now.
I feel very relaxed today.
Yeah, that's how you feel?
Yeah, I came home from work, and I just went on the couch, and I just slept. I had a bad dream, but I still feel pretty good for the most part.
What kind of bad dream?
It was one of the dreams where I wake up crying, which
Why?
I always have dreams that are, like, it's like it was an emotionally sad dream. because it was about child abuse. Not towards me, towards
Okay.
other children, and I was there to witness it. And they were looking to me to save them.
Oh my God.
So, I woke up crying, and I decided that I'm going to have to I have to write down the story myself.
Okay.
To complete it, to give them a good ending, because I can't go back to the dream world and save them. So I have to.
You have to do it a different way.
I have to do it a different way.
Okay.
But it was always get the best stories from dreams like that, anyways.
That's awesome. That's a great way to get ideas and get like creative content for yourself. Like to not have
That's
to.
where a lot of my ideas come from.
That's really
dreams.
good. I love that.
Yeah.
For me, they come from like ideas, like waking ideas. Most of my, like I'll have a question about something like, I'd like to make $1 million, and then I'll just be minding my business and then like within the next hour or so, it's like a short amount of time, I'll have this idea about something, and it'll be like, here's how you make $1 million. So I have all these $1 million ideas, and now I'm starting to like flesh them out, and some of them don't change. Some of them I can't access. Sometimes I lose them. So if I don't write it down, and even if I write it down, if I go back and look at it, it feels different. Like either someone else is on this, or it doesn't matter anymore. The moment has shifted. Yeah. But there's some things that no matter what I'm going through, what's being said, who I'm around, it's those same ideas, and those are the things edify me would be like that.
How long have you had that idea?
Around 2011, 2012 was when I committed it to paper.
Was it called Edify Me back then?
It was called Edify Products. Because I was deep into Christianity at the time. And I started to understand the nature of edifying Christ and what edification was.
What's edification?
It's like being beautiful, but not just vanity-based. It's like the way you talk, the way you are. You're making the lessons of Christ is making you beautiful. You being in harmony with the teachings and the lessons of God and Jesus Christ is making you beautiful. You're making God beautiful, which makes you beautiful. It was like this full sentence of beauty, which I love. And I would feel it. Like if I was being obedient and I was following through with certain spiritual practices. I remember I used to find so much power in what I would consider at the time miracles that would come through from me praying on my knees. Now I have an understanding that I was really grounded. Like I'd be outside, or it's an energy thing. Yeah. But at the time, you couldn't tell me that. Closing my eyes, getting on my knees, and putting my hands together, and being like, God, Jesus, and then things would shift or happen, and I'd feel so like protected and loved and cared for.
Just for a quick tangent, because you putting your hands together like that. Calling out to God. Have you seen that clip where it's a Trump supporter and he's about to get arrested? And he was like, Trump, save me, Trump. Like, praying like this dude is fucking Jesus or some shit like that.
No, I've never seen
that. Shit was hilarious, by the way. Everyone was like, he's just the president. He's not a religious figure.
He's not here right now, and he don't hear you.
Right. I was like, okay, this is... But yeah,
he probably was doing it for a sensational. I don't think there's no way
people like this exist, Mom. But
that's internet crazy. That would be actually crazy.
That's why.
Then again, not really, because if we were doing what we're supposed to do, as far as, and I hate to say like what we're supposed to do, but if everyone was on a certain frequency, then Trump probably could hear him telepathically in the ideal setting. But then that doesn't negate the fact that he probably can't get to you. But then again, if we were all utilizing certain it's not funny.
Anyways, yeah, that was some bullshit he was on. I know what's going on, but you doing that made me think of that. But yeah, I didn't know you had Edify Me as an idea for almost a decade
it was like,
now.
I wanted it to be a whole skincare line. I had
Do
butters.
You still wanted to be a whole care line? Skincare line?
Skincare, I don't think so. Those ambitions. And it was more about people being able to use products, kind of what you see now, products that are healthy for you. Products that, like, I learned now that I have high porosity hair. So hot water, steam, anything that makes my hair literally hot, which dries it out, opens the shaft up, keeps it open, is not my friend. Heavy products that don't include a lot of water and good sealant oils is not my friend. Things like that. I gotta do cold water wash. I gotta do a cool water rinse. I gotta, use certain types of products to get what I want out of my hair.
And the great thing about the Edify Me spray is, like you said, it's like you don't really need the whole skincare line because most people have an assortment of different stuff.
And the Edify Me does a lot of things. Like you can spray it onto your skin. My favorite thing is spray a lot in the morning and then take some baking soda and rub that with it. I had a skin esthetician, Tovi, Bare by Tovi. She told me about that. She taught me about how to do the baking soda every morning and
what
how
does
it
that
helps.
do?
I think it just helps get those oils out, the excess oils and fungi, and just good
skin. So I
me too. It works so good when I do that. But when I do the rose water as my water,
do you do it with it?
Yeah,
and then do you do it afterwards?
And then I rinse that off really good with warm water, and then I spray some more rose water. Like I be living in the rose water.
I don't know if I should do my skincare routine and then spray the rose water.
I do it with the soap. Sometimes I do it with the soap if it's like. I'll make instead of using water and the soap for my skin, that soap with the facial cleanser.
Yeah,
I'll use my rose water.
I used rose water in my hairspray. Like when I'm using the water spray, I put rose water in that.
I love it, and it makes you feel good.
It smells so good,
and it's not a perfume, so it doesn't like stain you. It just makes you feel safe and loved and good. And I like products that make us all... I feel like the more everyone feels loved and safe and good. Like, I was just talking to someone earlier today about this whole, carbonation thing and Lihio and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And what I was wondering was, we all are people born in this world, in America, wherever. Well, we'll say America, because even though I was born in Trinidad, we're all here, unless you're listening from somewhere else. Let's just say Earth. You're born on Earth, right?
Yes.
And depending on where you're at, but let's use America as the Western society for this conversation. Western society says there's a mother, there's a father, they loved you, they plan for you, they have somewhere safe for you to live. They have food and provisions for you. They care about you. They have extended family, grandparents, uncles and aunts, friends, godparents, that they're going to create this wonderful village for you to feel like a whole person. And you see this message. It's in school. It's in books. It's on Sesame Street. It's in the Bernstein Bears. It's this whole program of mother and father and loving you and loving your brothers and sisters. And there's enough for the world to go around. And then you have a crack baby born. You have someone born and they ain't got no mama or daddy. They gave them away, or they abusing them, they raping them, and they babies. What the fuck is that? And people act like that shit is not happening. So you're telling me I should have a mother and a father, but I don't have neither. I'm an orphan. So what's the program for me to have a happy life? Oh, it involves a lot of hard work and stress and overcoming all that shit, and then telling somebody at the end of a long, long, horrible, suffering journey, I just believed in myself. And I didn't give it. And even though this is all true, but this is the program.
Yeah.
There's no... People came and found me, and they loved me, and I realized it didn't matter who was my mother and father, as long as I had a mother and a father person in those roles.
Yeah.
And they loved me, and I could flourish. That's the minority of those stories. You hear those stories very few. You hear a lot of stories of people going to foster care situations, being abused, being hurt, and then somebody come out of this situation. You done told me what I should have. I ain't got it. I get some other bullshit, and then you want to know why I am fucked up.
Right.
And I'm a bad guy now because I'm fucked up. So this is, some of the stuff that's been on my mind, and this is I kind of forgot why I even brought that reference up, but I feel like it's just relevant to everything in life right now.
I feel like...
So I like my rose water because my rose water is a product that I created that when you feel real fucked up, that was why I created Edify Me, meaning people to edify me, meaning I want to feel beautiful. I want to feel like if God is strong, strength, beauty, power, God is excellence, God is wisdom, God is all these wonderful things, and God is in me. No matter if I'm an orphan, no matter if I'm loved or not, no matter if I have parents or not, God is in me, and I am all the things that God makes up God. I wanted to be, that's why it's called Edify Me. I wanted a product line that when you used it, it aligned you with that concept of no matter what, I am, God is in me, which would make me the essence of God. And what is the essence of God? All these wonderful things.
You know who could use some Edify Me?
Who?
This,
What? Why are you gonna laugh? Why are you gonna sound evil?
the art thief that we was talking about last episode.
I thought that was over.
Well, there's been a bit of an update. Not really going to speak on the update because it hasn't happened, but there's going to be an update. Because she wants to speak to me.
About what?
She wants to explain to me that she actually didn't steal it. And
man, I don't see, that's the type of shit that pissed me off. Then that's when I start getting mad because it's like you literally covered up my daughter's signature with a big black dot with your name on it.
Well, I don't know what
How
narrative she's telling herself and her friends. So that's the reason I'm entertaining because I'm curious to see.
I'm putting my blanket on more.
It's getting comfy.
I'm getting comfy.
I'm just curious about the narrative that she's telling as her side of the story, just so I'm aware, so I know what she's saying. Because the only way she could possibly not have stolen my art is if she was hacked and framed. That's literally the only way. So if she literally didn't do it and someone else did. But we'll see how that goes later on. But I think she could really use some edifying me. So I feel like
she needs
what
something.
kind of like how do people move that way? How do you even allow yourself to take from another person?
I think the same way like when I was a little kid and you steal a pack of gum out the store. You feel entitled to what someone else has because you've never had it. And at some point in time, the environment we're in with all this capitalism and stuff like that, it makes you lean towards, I can just take it then. I can just have it.
But I feel
other
like
people are taking it.
I feel that's a little bit more different when it's from like a store versus from like a person.
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's
I
not.
feel like it's different.
Why? Because the store has more energy, spiritual energy to back itself, meaning lawyers and cameras to see you stealing it. Maybe a nice store clerk that says, hey, put that back, and you got to put it back, and you walk out, and they say, don't come back here. And they have all that in place versus a person who all they got is themselves to say, no, don't do that to me.
Yeah.
It's the same. They just have more resources to back them up spiritually, legally, energetically, which is all the same shit if you're asking me. But I think people have that same thing too, which is why some people you cannot steal from them. They protect their stuff. They don't have certain conversations.
I guess I was protected because I wasn't even aware this was happening. People came to me that I didn't know.
You have good energy on you. I put protection on out for my children. Like I put that vibe out there for y'all. I put that energy out there for y'all.
It felt pretty good because I felt like I was being protected.
Yeah,
by strangers. I work hard for that.
I work. Now, when I say I work, now that is something I do not mind saying. I work hard. What it means to be able to have stability and family and trust and love in the household, I think is absolutely essential in the micro to what we want in the macro. So in my household, as you know, spirituality is not vain. Yeah. We don't have a belief and then or a feeling about something or a vibe about something and then work against that. Yeah. And if it comes up that we're doing that ignorantly, that shit is addressed directly and without pause and without cessation until we understand collectively why this is allowed, why is this happening. Right. So I do keep a certain type of foot on neck spiritually speaking to the point where like it doesn't, I don't think it translates well on Instagram or Facebook. It seems more poppy. It seems more like, yeah, I'm bubbly and friendly like that. But you know how dark, like, I don't play that shit in the house. Like,
yeah, I think that also has to do with, like, how spirituality right now is a trend a little bit. Because everyone's getting into being spiritual. And
that shit is so disgusting to me. It was disgusting when I first started having the conversation publicly, and I realized then there was the whole thing about who's a natural witch and who's like
the whole witch thing is a trend.
That was it comes up now sometimes, but it was coming up even then. Conversations I would have, and somebody would be like, "Oh, well, you're just a natural, so you don't see it that way." And it's like, a natural what? I'm just me. I'm just using all my energy. Like I would learn things, and I would I remember I would learn things and want to apply it directly, but it seemed like the people who was either teaching it or whatever, they wanted you to apply it the way they saw it.
You're talking about in the spiritual world?
In the spiritual world, yeah. When you take courses and classes from people, and, you know, you have certain teachers, and it's like, if you don't do it their way, then, you know, like, and then you like, so I paid to learn how to do it your way? Yeah. And it's like, wait a second, I paid money to learn how to use me the way you use you? And then it was like, right, and then when you would ask for some type of like conversation about that, all of a sudden the shop gets shut down. It's like all these movies you see where it's like the spiritual person sells you the the hair oil that'll make
oh, yeah, the
then you come back because it doesn't work. As a matter of fact, your hair fell out and they're gone.
Yeah.
Or they're in a new costume. Like, oh, no, I don't know nothing about that.
Happened in what?
It happens in life.
That happened in True Blood when get the demon out the mom and then they came back and she was like working at the store like,
She's working at CVS.
She's like, girl, I just work here.
Right. So I was learning lessons like that when I first started. I mean, I've always been this way. I was always a kid that talked to trees.
But
But
before you got into spirituality, you were like religious, right?
I would like to say personally, I've always been spiritual. Like my earliest memory of spirituality, meaning to me, it would start off like my imagination. I was always using my imagination. I remember being very young, like pre-kindergarten, and being like outside laying in the grass and like I have a big burn on the back of my leg because of my imagination. Grandma said I was jumping over the grill and a piece of coal flew off and burnt me. Like a whole thing happened at grandma to this day, which is your great grandmother feels like,
Yeah.
But I remember I was imagining something that made me jump over the damn grill in the first place. Like I was chasing something imaginary. I believed in fairies. You couldn't.
I believed in fairies too. When I was
clapped.
Younger. I just thought
Cinderella changed my whole fucking life. Like the idea of a fairy godmother. Like maybe that's who I've been praying to and talking to all this time. And like,
wow,
none of that stuff felt far fetched for me.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. Before there's the Beast, there's all the enchanted things. That's like my whole childhood, feeling like things are talking to me, and I'm in the room, and it's like the brush is talking to me. Or like I remember it being in Trinidad and my stepmom kind of like tapped my knuckles with the brush and I swore I heard the brush say, we're sorry.
Wow.
And I started crying more about the brush seemingly taking offense to how she was using it versus the knuckle pain. Even now that brings tears to my eyes. Like that brush got so sad and upset. Oh my God.
Wow.
And I got upset like I'm getting now, but it was not so. And then even that, now where I'm at now is the spirituality of myself. So now there's a double fold in that memory. That memory includes the sadness a little bit I felt for the brush, but a new found feeling of like, even back then, you were always putting everything else before you. And that might have been a result of how I was raised or whatever, but these are my lessons. These are the things that I live with.
Yeah.
So before I'm weird to someone else, I was weird to me. Based on what society says we should be like, or how we are, or who we are, or what is acceptable, or what you should have, like the whole mom and dad thing.
Yeah.
So could you imagine kids who grew up with like two moms or two dads when that message was prevalent before it was okay to have two moms and two dads?
I wasn't fully in that position, but I felt like I kind of experienced a little bit of that. I felt like I grew up in a non-traditional kind of
because you was there when I was dating women. I had girlfriends with
I remember being a kid who, like, when people were like, oh my God, two boys kissing, ew. And I'm like, what? I don't get.
Why is that problematic?
I don't what's the problem?
Because I raised you around so much what most people would consider subversive culture, meaning drag queens, gay people who worked for themselves before being an entrepreneur was popping, before being self-employed was popping.
I'm also into like anime.
Yeah,
I was a K-pop fan in middle school.
Before K-pop,
I wanted to be pastel goth in like 7th grade.
You wanted to be. You were.
I know.
No, it wasn't pastel. You was a neon goth for a little while.
I wanted pastel too, though. I just didn't have the fits for it.
Because that included a lot of lace and makeup looks, and you weren't into stuff like that.
I wasn't I wanted it, but I wasn't fully tapped in. I could do it now if I wanted to.
Yeah, you do that now.
Sometimes
I've seen you in that.
I like all different types of styles. But yeah, you did. I felt like,
and I let you do that. I let you express not even let you, like, it wasn't even letting you. It never was a. First of all, even my approach to how I had children, like I remember. After you were born, like I wrote letters to you when you were in my womb, and I talked to you all the time. But then I remember when you were born, I remember praying to that which was not seen. Like I had the special way I used to pray to get stuff done.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What do I do with her? I don't want to fuck her up. I don't want to take her off her path.
Right.
I don't want... You created her. She just came... I had a full understanding that you came through me, and you have some genes for me and things that you need for this journey,
right.
but you do not belong to me. You are not even my responsibility per se. It's that I have charge or care of you for an allotted amount of time so that I can teach you some things so that you can be yourself as you need to be in the world with
right.
yourself. And that's what I did. I prayed about that, and I did that with your sister, and it's like I got literally what I got for you, and your sister what I got for her, and I've raised you guys on that one principle. It wasn't a bunch of different rules and tenets.
Yeah.
That one principle that I got from God. That's what my understanding, my awareness, my belief, my faith, however you want to use that word, feeling, vibe, knowing. I had to teach you this one thing and teach your sister this other one thing. And I was done as a parent. And that lesson would never change. It would just stages, degrees, octaves of it. But it would always be, we're doing that now with the podcast with you.
Yes, we are.
I'm still doing the same one thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm committed to as a parent with you. As long as I'm teaching y'all that one thing that God told me to show his, her, its child, however you want to look at that, that's what I stay obedient to.
And I always find that was interesting to when I would hear other kids or my friends or classmates talk about their relationship to their parents and how entitled their parents were to their lives and to their plans, to their future and what they're going to do and what they're not going to do and how they can be as a person. I was like, that's literally so horrible. Like, you can't, like, they literally couldn't be their own person because their parent felt like entitled to their child because they gave birth to them and because they do what a parent's supposed to do, which is provide for their kid.
I never understood how parents be like, say things to children. Like you said, I made you. Like, I have an understanding that if I make a small person, they cannot fend for themselves.
Right.
So I have to help them fend. And I have to do it until they can. And there's a certain amount of dependency that comes with that.
Yeah.
And it's not my job to exploit that dependency or abuse that dependency or make them feel bad for having to depend on me.
Right.
That's it. Like, I don't... And that goes for anyone. Because to me, it's like if we say we're all children of God and God is in us, that means we are all like unto children with each other at some point in time where we have to depend on our boss to handle us a certain way. Our children have to depend on people in authority in school, positions of authority to be good adults to these children, lunchroom ladies. You go to college, you expect your professor to be in a position to teach you something you don't know in a way that you could... Like, it's a bunch of series of having to give up the not control, but where we don't know one person know everything about everything and every other person.
Right.
So I have to depend on my college professor when I paying for this school. I have to depend that they are proficient in what they're going to teach. I have to depend on this.
Yeah.
And I have to, and then they tell me not only do I have to depend on it, I have to supplement it.
Right.
I have to supplement and fortify, which we have to do independent study. I have to do studies that supports their studies. I have to do studies that takes away from their studies so I can have a well-rounded... It's a lot to learn.
It is
to be able to learn. And that's my whole thing with other beings here. Whether you feel like you're a human being, an alien being, a sky being, a water being, a fire being, you need another being to be.
Exactly.
So you might as well love yourself so that you know what it feels like to make yourself feel good. So that way you're not dependent on another person. And like if everybody have this vibe of I know how to make myself feel good and I'm not dependent on someone else to feel good. When someone makes me feel good, I can appreciate it as some extra good. Like,
yeah,
you know, like that's just, and maybe that's idealistic or too altruistic, but that's why I believe I'm here. Like, what? Because I don't really match these motherfuckers that's really present here. So that I must be part of the new wave because I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I talk to people like me every day. We're not the majority. I can agree with that. But then sometimes I feel like we are the majority. It just feels like everyone's wearing a mud suit and they haven't washed it off yet. The potential is there for everyone.
You think so?
I know so, in a way. Like, as long you're breathing, you got a brain.
True.
That's the potential it takes.
That's all it takes?
I think so, to love yourself. or then you should die. If you got a brain that won't let you love yourself, why are you alive? You might as well be dead.
Oh, God.
Your brain and your heart and your system and your physical don't let you love yourself? That's hell.
Yeah.
Let's die. Let's start over. Let's reset this one. I'm okay with that.
You okay with that?
I'm okay with the Dr. Kevorkian for that soul. Let's try again.
So to go back to the parents, what do you think it is in parents that create that entitlement?
They're stupid.
Stupidity?
Willful ignorance. Meaning it's that whole society of like I ain't gonna lie, I wish I could have slaves. But if I had slaves, right? Mm-hmm. I say I want slaves, right? But my slaves would be my family. So then would they still even be slaves?
They would be pets.
They'd be pets. See, you want pets.
Yeah, you said slave and I was like, ugh. I would want a pet.
Pet human?
I will, like someone who wants to be my pet. Not like, I'm not just gonna snatch
That's
somebody.
A slave. I'm sorry, maybe
That's
I don't want slave.
Yeah, the slave is like against their will. That shit is terrible.
See, I think of slave as someone who just... Maybe I want a servant. Maybe slave is the wrong word.
Servant is better.
Servant is better.
Yeah.
Slave. See, I like to keep the shit real. I think that's what other parents do. They don't let themselves keep it real, make mistakes, fumble the ball. Like I just said, I want a whole slave. Someone's gonna hear that and be like, "What the fuck?" But in my mind, I'm thinking.
But then I just
servant.
said I want a pet, and you allowed me as a parent to say that.
I mean, it's honest. That let's be. So when I think about that, it's like let's be real. So sometimes, like, I'm on my cycle right now, so I don't want to do much. If I had a really good woman or man servant, or even animal servants, there are my children. I don't know. It's some fantastical shit I just thought of, but it sounded good, right?
Right.
Like a service animal. Service animals would be served like.
Well, they don't think they literally serve.
They do. They
provide
be doing all kinds of emotional supportive things.
No, I thought you meant like
some of them know how to open
bring
fridges.
you like a cup of juice.
Some of them can do that. Not they can't pour the juice. Listen, now
I'm like,
you know what I'm saying. They can't pour the juice into a cup, but they have things where they can open the fridge and the can or the box juice. They can get it and grab it in their mouth. I've seen it, and then take it to their owner, or a beer, or like some beverage type shit, or a box of cereal, something that the canine animal can.
Yeah, I was like, my pet cat can't do that.
A cat is not gonna do that.
I don't think
my
my
cat is looking at you like, "Are you gonna get that?"
Yeah.
Now they do have emotional support cats, but
yeah, that's all I need.
They don't have thumbs.
I don't need a servant pet.
You want a servant human?
Yes.
You said that.
I want a servant human and a human pet.
I think everyone wants a servant human, and I think that we could all have that if we didn't abuse our servants.
Yeah.
Make them sleep on the floor. To me, a servant...
Who's making servants sleep on the floor? I mean, modern day...
You'd be surprised, darling.
You're right. Even while I'm saying that, I'm like, girl, you know.
There's abusive people who do that to people who...
Yeah.
And make them, you know... So it's like... To serve is not negative or bad or low nature.
No.
So I feel like if I had a servant, their room would probably be nicer than mine. They'd be low key living
if
better
I had a
than
servant,
me.
I'd probably give them a whole house.
Yeah.
On my property.
I mean, and I'm thinking about what I really need a servant for, which means they would be like the best servant because they wouldn't even have to work that much. It's not like I need you all the time. To me, that's something different. If you need a servant all the time, that means you need a nurse. You need a nurse. If you want someone to be there all the time,
I don't think I ever want to have it.
I don't want a nurse. I don't need a nurse. But a servant for certain things, like, can you clear out all my emails that I don't need?
Oh,
like,
that's assistant.
But
there's so many different titles.
There's so many titles for people who get shit done for you. The point is they're serving you. Servants. So
but in a way, it's like we're all servants to each other.
Exactly.
Which is what you were saying earlier.
Whole point. That's my whole
We need people to...
point.
No one can do everything by themselves, and no person knows everything.
So when you're serving someone, take pride in that. And when someone's serving you, understand the mindset and the heart that goes into making sure another person is well cared for. That takes energy. You know, I've had situations where I've showed up for women. Like, I remember when I was younger, I had certain female friends, and one of them, she had a breast reduction. And I remember, like, you have a whole mom, sister, family, other friends, sorority life. I was like a new person in your life, but nobody couldn't be there to take care of you. You had this whole major surgery done. You couldn't even wipe your own ass. I wiped your ass for you. I helped you wash yourself. Look at your face.
I could never.
I was happy, and pleasantly willing to do this, not for anything other than the reciprocate.
Yeah, you know I don't be pronouncing words well, so you can look into me.
The mutual exchange that I think I would have expected if anything was just that, we would have still been friends to this day.
I mean, if a friend did that to me, for me, helped me like that, I feel like through that experience.
Person, I remember one time I was stranded at college. We were all college students, and I needed a ride home, and her boyfriend was there. And I asked, could I get a ride with her boyfriend? And she told her boyfriend no, because she didn't trust, because I was the kind of girl that he would have liked, or some bullshit like that.
That's like, you wiped her ass.
But you're my friend, though. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if that happened before or after to the charging of the story. Oh. But this is how I was, the kind of people I was attracting. And even to this day, I mean,
it's terrible either way. You either... Whether she did that and then you still helped her, or you helped her and she still did that. Either way, so
it's just one of those things. But I noticed with people, like, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, like, even when I was going through stuff with, my ex-husband.
Yeah.
And I was going through really horrible things, and I was telling family, and they were saying things like, "Oh, we don't get involved in married people business." And the reasons they had were really logical, very logical. Meaning, we get involved, we help you do all this stuff, move, whatever, cuss them out, beat them up, everything, and you go back with them. I understand that.
They said it like that, or was that implied?
But that was implied. That was said in healing conversations. It comes up, and usually that's why people stay out of married people business for real, or couples, or even family. Because after I interject and you heal and y'all get back cuckoo, it's like now I might be the bad person, or you. And my thing is like, and that is because we live in a world where we turned a blind eye to misusing or mishandling one another.
Yeah,
meaning. I don't mind coming back and getting you. I don't mind helping you put all the stuff back. But when I help you come back and pack your closet back, I'm going to look that man in the face just like I'm going to look you in the face. I'm like, all right, now she back. Put your hands on her again. It will be a certain way I do it. Meaning we still all in this together.
It's still a layer of protection.
It's still a layer of protection there, which means like, okay, she back. She love your ass. I wouldn't be with you. But she want to come back to this hellhole of a motherfucking house.
And I feel like long term, that's better.
That's better for everyone.
They feel like they have a support system.
Correct.
So when they're struggling and they're trying to leave again, they know they're not going to be shamed or something. Like, well, are you going to go back? Like,
correct.
There's not all these extra layers of like,
they feel
they
love.
have my back no matter.
And then maybe that person who maybe they never experienced love that way, they feel supported too. Like, well, I want to talk to you about the way she be acting. And maybe they need to learn from being around other healthy people. Like, that's not healthy in a relationship. Yeah. And that doesn't fly. And you're supported in the change of being what is actually healthy for you.
And with you saying that, it makes me think about, it's like people aren't allowed to be people. And people
we're not allowed to be good to each other.
Yeah, and we're not allowed to, like, go through things. Like, you're just supposed to know, because the information out there, so you're just supposed to know. First try, got to get it right. Everyone knows if he puts his hands on you, you leave right there.
And especially, that's why I said in my live the other day, like, people, we've watched Zeitgeist, what's the food one, Upgrade Me, Supersize Me. Oh. We have all this knowledge. We have all this awareness of what's happening. Still be eating the junk food. Still making babies and giving them social security numbers. But if America supposedly is this big corporate conglomerate business thing, and everyone with a social security number is a product of this conglomerate, and it's a corporation, why are people still having babies who've seen Zeitgeist? I understand for those who haven't seen it.
Right.
But if you have seen any of this shit, how do you make a baby after you've seen that? Where is the accountability to what you're saying you believe is true?
Right.
Or what we allowing to be said is true in the environment. It's like the little boy who called Wolf. We all learned that story. He called Wolf, ain't a wolf. He called Wolf, ain't no wolf. He called Wolf. Then he finally called Wolf because real wolf. Everybody's like, fuck that shit. So what do we take seriously? Where is the wolf and where is not the wolf? And then again, no one acts. When I say things like this, people are like, that's deep. To me, this is regular fucking way of thinking. Like, it's logical. It's very logical.
Also, with that story, it's like, why was he keep calling when there's no wolf?
Yeah,
like, what's going on with that?
Emotionally is going on with him?
Y'all talk about that? Did you talk to him? Like, yo, what's going on,
Why are you calling
bro?
him wolf? You need more attention? He was at the top of the hill by his goddamn self at a young age doing some shepherd shit. Maybe he's
bored. He wouldn't do that shit.
Yeah, somebody else needs that job.
And if even so, him calling a whoop, that's still something dangerous that's gonna happen. So even if he is lying about it, maybe you should still go fucking check it out
every time.
Maybe the sheep are gone,
it's a young boy with a grown up ass job that wolves like. Maybe he should go every time, just
or switch him out. Solutions, people,
or have an adult present with him because he's essentially it's a child labor law situation if you're asking me. But
yeah,
it's the same thing. Like you have you have children who are very young, taking care of their other younger siblings, or being around your man you just met or this woman you just met, and they're watching your kids because you worry about this almighty dollar, and they're being abused, and then your child tells you they're being abused. But the idea of like, you have to stop. It's like it was D.L. Hughley said that. D.L. Hughley's a comedian, and he did this whole interview where basically he admits his daughter was being molested by like a neighbor or somebody, and it was inconvenient. This is the word he used. It was inconvenient for him to deal with that. So I don't know. I don't remember if exactly if he let it keep happening, and then he finally dealt with it, or he stopped it, but then he didn't deal with it. And when he moved them, but he didn't talk to his daughter or really deal with it. And then he dealt with it. Like, how could it be inconvenient? Because he's like, this is a well-to-do person, this and that. I don't understand these types of ways of thinking.
It's a lot more widespread. It's like there's a lack of compassion for people, and they find it inconvenient. Especially, I feel like it goes back into the whole, like, people going through stuff. Like, an example would be, I brought it to you the other day. There's some YouTuber couple, right?
This is just very stressful.
Yeah, there's some YouTuber couple. The guy is basically abusing the girl. And, of course, like, in a lot of abusive relationships, she's leaving a lot of times, she's still coming back. So it's going to be a while before if she's even able to leave. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't know that.
The average is 9 times?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. They just be like, whatever. Mm-hmm. And the last time that she left, which I think was like sometime last year, she tweeted out a bunch of stuff about the stuff he did, which was very terrible. Like he was beating her up. He was like pissing on her or like doing some kind of shit like that. He was throwing things out. It was like some real fucked up shit, right? So, she went back. She also has a baby with this man, so that's another layer to it that I don't understand because I don't have a kid, but you've been in situations like that, so you would understand more. So she's back, right? And there was some kind of drama with him or whatever, and this one YouTuber I watched, I Am Zoe, he's from like Vine or whatever. He had the dreads. He cut the dreads now, and I
like his little short videos.
Yeah, and he has his Messy Mondays. He talks about messy drama stuff, but to me, I feel like this isn't messy drama. This is a woman being abused, right? And he's annoyed that she went back to this man. He's so annoyed that she's going back and doing this, and he's over here talking about she must like it at this point. Blah, blah, blah. I'm tired. Girl, I'm tired of having to like, blah, blah, blah. I was rooting for you. Like, you're not the one getting beat down.
Correct.
And all these people in the comments are just like, oh yeah, she's clearly doing it for attention, blah, blah, blah. It's like, clearly you've never been in an abusive relationship, or you are in one and you're projecting, or...
It's disgusting.
And I'm over here like,
it's disgusting.
People just don't care.
They don't. And
they don't see her as a person.
They don't. People don't see other people as people.
They don't.
Because we're not set up in a structure that says put people first. We work 40-hour weeks plus. We have to pay taxes on top of taxes. While we know there's a knowledge that says certain people making a certain amount of money don't have to pay all these taxes, but you making this little bit of money, you got to pay all these. Like, it's so much abuse layered into. Black people don't matter, they matter. Asians is beating you down in their store, but then they getting a check from the government to have this whatever the fuck the.
And I feel like in the black community,
I could be wrong and flawed in how I'm saying it.
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying. I feel like especially in like the black community, abuse is so, and I know this word is overused a lot, normalized on so many different levels. Like, for a lot of people, their first abusers are literally their parents, and then their siblings, and then extended family. Even the fact that black people,
the way we breed, like, it's nobody likes to say that, like. It's literally how it goes for mental stability in America. Yeah. The way the Western societies put up 1 child per person. So if you have a 2-parent household, but both of you work, you can have 1 child. Because you guys work.
Yeah.
And there's not a chance that sometimes y'all gonna be home at the same time every time. So one child, if that household that has two parents that have to work have 4 children,
one of those kids ends up watching
3 of those children. One of them got to watch everybody else. 3 of them is gonna feel like the baby might get the best, and then they're gonna be so entitled and so like about things. Nobody's gonna want to even be around them.
Right.
And then or they're gonna be the last ones in the household, and they're gonna grow up in this kind of environment where the parents have the excess money and they're tired because they've been working 60-hour weeks for the missing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we all see.
Yeah.
And then those who didn't grow up in that structure, who had somebody thinking about long-term goals in life, kind of like not maybe as spiritual as I'm taking it, but at least more practical, where they're like, okay, if he's gonna work this much and I'm working and I'm in college, then we can't have babies until this age, and then when we have a baby, we need to make sure we have this in place.
Right.
It might seem boring to some people. It might seem less like creative or less like, you know, whatever that is, spontaneous, or like, God, have we had this baby? It's all fucking gifts, okay? How about that? But if you plan for the gift, you can enjoy it better.
Yeah.
And I don't think this, like, I personally feel like they should sterilize every fucking body upon birth. And then you have to take a series of tests.
So crazy
to see if you are qualifying.
People
to be
bring
that
up a lot. And also I'm noticing there's a lot of movies and TV shows lately where they keep talking about sterilizing people.
I don't have a problem with it.
But they're always the villains, and it's always stopped.
Yeah,
but I'm like, but a lot of people watch and be like, I don't know, they onto something.
We have all these orphans. Did you see in the news? They had this man that, I hate to even bring it up, but this man, he sexually assaulted his 10-month-old daughter to the point where she died. And when the police came and got her, they said, and they got her body, her diaper was full of blood. Correct. I hate even, but this is what the fuck we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So you're telling me this person got to be in his late 20s, early 30s to make a child to be. Where was the mom? And I noticed they put this story out. Sometimes I think they put these stories out to normalize this behavior to us, because they put that story out. Where is the mom? They have his picture in the newspaper, and I saw another report.
That's enough to be like, sterilize everybody right now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't, and no one's talking about it anymore. And then he's not the only one molesting children. That's why I never understood. Once we knew that pedophilia was a thing in the Western society, that someone is an adult and they can literally do a sexual thing to a person under a year old. To me, that's when there should have never been a goddamn Huggies commercial on with no babies' bare bottoms out. Meaning, I might not think nothing wrong with that, but wouldn't that technically be porn for a pedophile?
To be a pedophile these days, it's so easy to get something on kids, even without having to go to an illegal site. You can go on YouTube and you can watch videos. Because
now it's so normalized that we can share our. I don't get it.
Yes.
There's not many pictures of you guys on the internet. You know how I am with y'all image on the internet because of that shit. Like, I don't feel comfortable when your sister was young, just having. No one can say, "Oh, Stacey always had baby pictures." People didn't even know I had a child because I didn't even post y'all like that on social media.
There's a lot of crazies online.
Yeah,
and that's the terrible thing about the internet.
I'm spiritual. Something about it energetically. I come from a knowing that there's some religious people out there who don't even let their picture be taken. Because it's a form of, like, vanity, and it's a form of, like, idol worship. And, like, the only image you should be thinking about is the image of God. And since you cannot formulate that in your mind, it's a certain amount of purity and spiritual power that goes with that. And to take a picture of yourself, it's like you're trying to see God, and then you're trying to see yourself as God, because now you have an image of yourself when the only image... It's like, I've read some dogmas like that. You know what I'm saying? And I liked it. I understood it, and it made me feel kind of, like... good. Like, like, imagine a world where there's not all this print, all these words written down, all these pictures. How many pictures get thrown away every year? We got
so much
film.
Media.
So much media. Yes. So much work, and we're worshiping it. We get on the like for instance, even us doing this, like, we wanted to do it because we like talking, but the fact that we can, that a regular conversation we normally have, we talk this all the time. But now it's a thing to do it on a podcast. And then how many fucking podcasts are there?
Like the saying goes, everyone and their mom has a podcast nowadays.
Mad commentary, shout out.
I hate that.
But yeah, so these are the things that I be thinking about low key. So when you ask me how was my day, all of this still exists. Like,
right?
How are you feeling? All of this still exists. While I say I feel good, but the world's kind of crazy. But I don't focus on the crazy. I focus on what's gravy.
And that's why I don't. That's why I don't really like being online like that, especially when shit is going down, because energetically, I feel like that's a lot to take in, because now the sickness and the disgustingness of the world is literally at your fingertips. Mm-hmm. And sometimes even without your permission. You'll even be asking to see or witness or hear or see all the sick things, and it just comes across on your timeline. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't really...
So if you're working on law of attraction stuff, that's where the internet then sometimes gets fun, because it's not really law of attraction. You're working with your own subconscious, and it's very powerful. And I've been enjoying doing that work because, I did law of attraction and I liked it. But then I didn't understand how you're supposed to look at, like, the negative things, the contrasty things. Like, so do we deal with it or nah? Do we tell them you can't do that, or we just be like, it's okay, they're just doing their thing? And I realized you got to do what you feel to do. There's something in how you feel. And feeling versus emotions, to me, and my logic, are two different things.
Feeling and emotions.
Meaning, like, happiness is an emotion. Sadness is an emotion. Like you could when you feel sad, you're feeling the emotion that is labeled sad, which is a chemical reaction. It's a chemical reality. Things are happening, a thought, an awareness, and now you feel sad.
So you're saying, like, there's sadness and then there's feeling sad.
Then to feel sad, you're feeling the emotion. And sadness is the description of an emotion that you can feel. However,
you got me lost.
But follow me here.
Okay.
but if you have a feeling, you could be like, I just had a feeling I shouldn't stand there. It's not based in an emotion. It's like a knowing.
Oh, so it's like a square rectangle thing.
Yeah.
Not all feelings are emotions, but all emotions can be feelings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You should have led with that one, because you started talking about, and the feeling is the emotion, but you feel the feeling with the emotion you feel. I was like, all right, I don't know.
That's why it's hard
what you're talking about.
For me sometimes to talk regular, that my spirituality, or my how I express it, or whatever you want to call that.
Right.
I'm aware of how it sounds, very jibber jabbery. What's the guy from Alice in Wonderland?
Oh, Mad Hatter.
I can be very Mad Hattery-ish.
I can see that
a lot.
I can see you saying some stuff like, "You're not Alice." You're Alice, but you're not Alice.
I think I said that to all of you. Yeah, both of y'all when
at some point,
At some point, you're not the Amonaat.
Right.
You're not the Amonaat I had. Where's the Amonaat I had? Like, Annie too. It's just something about that. And then when he has feelings versus he has emotions, and you don't like him. Nobody likes the Mad Hatter when he's in his emotions. Mm-hmm. And very few people like me when I'm in my emotions. They're very dark, tumultuous. Like, I go from Ariel to Ursula, not quick, but I can do that, and that scares people.
Yeah.
Or Sleeping Beauty to Maleficent, that scares people. Most people are used to seeing me on the internet in my public persona, which is chippery, bubbly, happy, lights, full of...
Yeah, I'll be watching that like...
I know.
Must be nice. No, I was like, I don't care. But
y'all get all of me.
Yeah.
But the only time y'all get dark, Stacey, is when y'all have really disrespected the throne. Like, y'all triggered an actual emotion.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked you to do this. You have not done it. Like Annie with the, oh my God. She's supposed to have the tablet and her phone out there in the living room so she doesn't go to bed with it and be in her room, right? It's some parenting stuff, you guys. And it's my 14-year-old. And her dad got her a cell phone. I was like, go ahead, girl, And he was real responsible. It could only call, like, me, him. She can't go on YouTube. She can't do nothing.
Shutting down and stuff.
She can't do nothing with that thing but call her sister, her mama, and her daddy. That's it, really. And she can text her friends. I think she can store a few numbers for friends. But then she has a tablet from school, and she can do everything on that tablet, basically. So I just told her, because I noticed how she was missing the bus for like twice in 1 week. Yeah. And had to get a ride to school, all kinds of stuff in the last like month times. Or so. Yeah. Just all, right, look at you like, right, because I'm going to work, but she here still. So.
Right.
So I told her that she had to leave the phone and the tablet in the living room at night. And then I would give her a week to see how this goes. And I noticed yesterday it wasn't in the living room, and I asked her about it, and she was just like, my daughter told me wrap it up. You want me to wrap it up now?
No, we got like 5 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna cut off?
No, then we're gonna stop it.
She's like, we're done. Okay. So basically what happens is I noticed that it wasn't out there. And I went into her room. And here's the thing, you guys. Maybe if I would have went in her room and she just sleep. But when I go in her room, it's pitch black. But you can see the tablet is on clearly, like on a YouTube channel under the pillow. Like it's still moving. It's like,
oh, she didn't turn it off with the quickness.
She didn't turn it off. She didn't. I guess she just put her pillow over it. But the light and everything is still like I could see it. I could fucking see it.
That's rookie moves, bro. Oh, I was
so I just looked
good
at her
at
and I was
that.
like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Yeah, you were really good with the technology stuff. Like you were.
I was quick with it.
I had to just take the TV out of your room because of that and stuff."
I was over here teaching Annie the tricks when you'd be going to work and we'd be up in the living room watching TV and then you'd pull up in the driveway from work. I know how to be... And we head to the room and you wouldn't even know.
Nobody gets fussed at. I like that. Be bad and don't get caught. But don't be bad and get caught. Now you stupid. That's some dumb shit. What the fuck? So anyway...
I saw her on the tablet too.
And so I just was like, why do you have that? She's like, well, you said after a week. I said after a week we could review it. You didn't even talk to me about this.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like I was really like, because at first I kind of didn't notice it. Like I noticed it, but I was like, it could just be on for it. It could be on because, you know, those tablets.
Sometimes notification comes on.
Yeah. I wasn't even checking for her like that. But then I noticed it was moving.
Like a video.
Yes.
Like,
and then I put the pillow up and I could see like some YouTube crap. And I said, just take the shit back out there and leave it out there until further notice.
I'm gonna have to teach her some skills.
Don't teach her shit because she ain't. And then your sister, she don't even have like. You used to be genuinely like, oh, I got caught. I'm sorry, I didn't want to get caught. I just really wanted to do this. Your sister be on. She's an Aries. She be on some straight low emotional. I don't give a fuck. This is my life. I do what I want to do.
I'll be like, don't look at me like that, bro.
She be on some straight challenge shit like.
Well, we're about to wrap up soon. So what's some final notes you want to
I don't know, because I didn't know what we were talking about a little bit all the way.
That's just how we are. We go all over the place.
But it was good. I mean, how is it for you, like, having a mom that's so spiritual? And
sometimes it makes you feel like I can't connect with other people. Not connect. I don't give a fuck about connecting.
That sounds fucked up.
No, because I have my peoples I connect with.
That's not the point.
That's not the word that I meant. Not connect. I think the word is maybe relate. Because you can connect to someone and still not be able to relate to them.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes it's like I can't relate to either certain mindsets or like certain ideals or like stuff, like standards they put on themselves that I feel like is a little too harsh.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Because I feel like I just see everything in a totally different perspective. Like, especially when it comes to, like, spirituality and, like, religion. Like, when we were Christian, I ain't gonna lie. I was not fucking with that era of our life. I hated going to church. Oh, my God. I hated going to church. I love going to church.
I love the ministries. I was one of those people, you guys.
Bro, I wanted to sleep so bad in church. I did not want to ever
See, I wouldn't have had a problem with you sleeping in church.
I feel like you didn't want me to sleep in church.
The
culture is like not okay.
The culture was not okay with it. I personally would have been perfectly.
So then it wasn't you.
I would feel like that's the best thing for a child to do is sleep in church. Like I
in
feel
a way, yeah.
It shouldn't be Sunday school. It should be like sleep in school, like a place. I mean, think about it. We're worshiping. We're happy. It's good music playing and stuff. Why would
it could be a vibe, but it don't feel like a vibe. It felt like I was going to a worse version of school.
If I was gonna have a church, our Sunday school would be your kids get to sleep, and when they wake up, the attendant just put on some nice, gentle type of cartoon or something like nature-y, something that they could watch, enjoy a little media, but like, you know, have tea and crumpets or something. I don't know. Like they could be like a morning sleepover while the parents are worshiping and getting their selves together for the work week and things like that. You know,
that does sound nice. To me, church was just like a worse version of school because I didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. Because I still don't understand the format of church. You just come in and you just pick a random verse and you just start preaching about that.
It's what the
chapter
pastor
6 part. I don't know shit.
It's what the pastor decides. The flock.
Why don't we start from the beginning? Why don't we be like? I'd rather.
I used to say that too when I was going to church. Like, why don't we just start?
I've heard about 3 different parts of the Bible. I still don't know the full story. Isn't it a whole story? Isn't it a whole journey? Is it not? I don't know. See,
this is how I raised you. So
I went to church and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I've read the Bible a few times, but I always start from the beginning. And the only time
I would start from the beginning too.
The only time I pick it apart is when I'm with other Christians.
Yeah,
and they're using it straight reference, and we just reference those things, but. Or what I'm using as an ingredient.
Is it separate stories? Are they connected? Is it like
some stuff is connected, but some stuff is just regionally connected.
So it's like a fable book. To be honest, that's always how I saw the Bible, as like fables.
Oh my god!
And all
holy books are fable books. If you're asking me,
that's how I always felt like. That's why I never really get too.
They're allegorical. They're not meant to be literally.
Yeah, and I've always felt that way with religion. It's like I feel like it's just lessons or insight into something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is fact. This is law, and for some people it is fact, and for some people it is law.
Yeah,
and I don't like when
scary to me.
Yeah, I don't like when those type of people try to push their shit onto me or other people. It's like you believe it,
you believe it.
You believe
that's
it.
Like
that's
the whole
your
thing
belief.
People be like, "Well, I don't believe in gay people. I don't like this gay man."
Oh, don't get me
great. So then you don't be gay. So then you don't be gay.
Started on that.
I've been like that my whole because as a gay person, started off being lesbian before I liked boys or men or whatever. When I was a little girl, I liked girls. When I got older, I liked older girls. When I got to be a woman, I still like women. Men is something that folded into my reality. But I remember people saying things like, "Oh, I can't stand gay boys or faggots or lesbians or whatever." And it's like, well, fine, then you never should be a stud. You should never be gay because you don't like it. The one thing
that I really
but
don't
to not
get,
like it for not like to not like it for someone, I don't get that.
I never understood when people think that anything outside of heterosexuality in all cases is a choice. Because if that shit was a choice, I'm not even saying this just to be funny. I would choose not to be straight. I would choose like girls. I'm like, y'all saying this is a choice. What did y'all choose? Because I made the wrong choice way back then. I need to go back. I gotta fix it up. Are you kidding me? What is the secret? Because this shit not a choice. I would like to go back and change my answer. Because I'm not fucking with what I chose. This is not the route for me. I literally can't help it.
So
and because
funny.
I literally can't help that I like men, I believe that other people literally cannot help to like what they like. I feel like it's a natural thing. For some people, I'm sure there may have been some situation. Yeah. But that's a small percentage. For the most part, it's like sexuality.
People want what they want.
Isn't a choice. Now I was talking to some dude in some comment about it. He was like, it's a choice because you chose. Like, he's like, his thing was, he had it all backwards. He was like, I like women because I chose to. And I'm like, what?
That sounds gay. So you
I was like, so you had a point where you had a choice where you were like,
I like men. I like
to make a choice means you
had both.
You had both at some point, and you chose the other one. So at some point you was looking at men like, I'm trying to figure this shit out.
People just be saying stupid shit at this point, I realize. And that's what is upsetting most to me. It's like the stupid people have mixed in with the ignorant people, which is a different thing. I mean, it's like just all different levels of not being aware, not being compassionate,
and people not being able to admit that they just don't know. And people not being able to admit that I don't know, but this is how I feel. And I'm going to keep it to myself because I don't fucking know.
Nah, people don't do that.
Especially with politics right now in America. Child. Everyone thinks they know every fucking statistic and they know how to read fucking facts, but you don't know shit. You feel a certain type of way.
We are having this conversation without the conversation of, like, so when people say they're having the conversation of this is the last president, right? Some people are like, yeah, because this whole system, that's what we're talking about. No, that's not what I'm talking about, because if this is the last president, I didn't make that decision. Again, decisions are being made for us. If this is the last presidency, we ain't never going to have another president after that. First of all, I'd like to know, how can we make that decision without even trying a black woman as president? Like, we done had a white man. We need to have we had a black man, so we need some Asians. Let's just try everyone. Let's just try everyone gets to be a president.
Let's get a gay man in there.
Let's get a gay man. Let's get a Mexican man in there. Yo, do you know what would happen?
Oh,
I mean, this is... my you know how my imagination, look how she, if you guys can see how my daughter's looking at me, she's like, Mommy, don't say half of what I know you want to say, because she knows I could be inappropriate. She called me racist all the time. I was going to say, do you know what it would be like if a Mexican person was the president and they brought all their...
In America?
Oh my God. First of all, school lunch would be lit. Second of all...
We're not going to do anything.
Second of all, like, look at how much you guys to see there.
I'm scared where the next step you're going.
The point is, as a spiritual person, I'm not limited.
But what kind of Mexican, though? Because Mexican is just,
That's right.
Like a white Mexican, a black Mexican, like a native, like indigenous Mexican.
Oh my God. See, what I want to say sounds bad. I don't know if I should say it. Like the short ones that they're very handy and stuff.
Because they're like from the Aztec or whatever.
Yes.
So.
But then they're very violent.
Mom, she was joking. Just kidding. It was a joke.
Can be.
She's joking.
See, this is...
She's testing out some material, and it's not really going over too well, so she didn't actually mean that.
I did.
Yeah.
She's looking at me.
Anyways, let's have all kinds of presidents before we cut off presidents as a whole. Let's try them all out. I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Let's try it all out.
Oh my God.
You're like, okay, this is done. She does not like when I go into my inappropriate...
Well, I think that was a great talk about spirituality, religion, sexuality.
And how it's all tied into, it's all connected.
Into humanity and human nature. And I feel like we'll talk about this again more. This is always a topic that you can just go on and on and on.
Yeah,
it's
so true.
But, yes, I enjoyed this talk. Did you enjoy this talk?
This was good.
It was good talk.
And we did it in my bedroom where I'm working from today. So I like that.
All right, we went a little overtime, but It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So, real quick, you guys... You can find me at Oya Gold on Instagram. And you can find the channel for this podcast, which is called Mad Commentary, on Instagram as well. And that's M period A period D underscore the word commentary.
Yes. And it has creepy babies.
Yeah,
as the profile picture.
love my profile picture. I picked that out. It was just me
fits
and
the
you.
vibe.
It does. So you guys come check us out. If you want to know things that we really do, check out our individual page. And Amonaat's individual page is Amocat. You can see all her art.
It's Amo, which is AMO _cat with 2 A's.
Okay. And Oya Gold is at Oya OYAGOLD. And we're actually, it's funny, we do these podcasts, but then we go right into work. So we're going to end this. And literally, we have to have a business meeting about some journals and stuff, you guys. We got some products coming out. I'm trying to get my Redbubble store off the ground, and my daughter's helping me put some, journals and things in it. So we got more time to spend with each other, basically. So you guys have a good one. It was great. We got to figure out an extra outro, too.
The outro will be just thanks for listening. And then it'll be the music. All right, we're not doing that. All right, bye. Oh, wait, how do I turn this off?